Rory? I know this is pretty immediate of me, but this weekend I'll be heading back to my parents' place.
What? You're going home by yourself?
Yup. On Friday night, my plan is to take the nightly bus all the way back home to their town. You're still going to be working on Saturday, right?
That's right. We're in the middle of a rough wave, so I won't be able to take any time off either. Is there something you're going back to your parents' house for?
My friend got into an accident and is now in the hospital. I want to go and see him and all while I still can. Since I'm already going to be back in my hometown then, I thought I might as well just stay with my parents for the weekend and hang out.
So you're staying for the entire weekend?
Yep. I already contacted my parents about it and they both said it was okay.
Is that right?
Oh, what's wrong with going back to stay at my parents' house?
I never said there was anything wrong with that, Robert. Let me just ask this to make sure, but are you sure you don't want me coming with you?
Oh, don't worry about me. This is about me being there with a friend of mine you've never even met, and it's not like you're going to be able to take time off work anyway. My parents were also both saying they only wanted me coming home, so...
I see. Okay then.
I finished work.
I hope you had a good day there.
I did, and now I'm going to start taking the long bus ride back to my parents' place. Oh, that's right. While I'm back at their house, don't you dare contact me about anything.
What?
Not myself or my parents.
Why can't I?
I'll be going to visit my friend in the hospital, and I don't want it going off all the time. And when I'm back at my parents' house, I'd like to have a taste of what things were like back in the day when I never had a phone. You know what I mean? In other words, I just want to take things easy, huh? If I start getting calls and texts from you, I might start remembering just how stressful things really are for me.
Okay.
I don't mean that as a bad thing, though.
Well, it's not a problem.
Oh, I need to start moving now or else I'm gonna miss that bus. See you later.
Have a good trip. Mom, good evening. This is about what I mentioned to you before. Hello, Rory. And good evening to you, too. How are things going there? Just as I expected. I'm heading back home now is all I really got from him. He told me that he had just finished up work and would be getting on the night bus to head to your guys' place for the weekend. I see. Just to be sure that there wasn't someone like that, my husband and I called all around and heard nothing about one of his friends being in the hospital right now. Everyone around here knows about Robert, so I made sure to ask every single person I could about one of his friends, and nothing came back about one being injured. Thank you for doing that. I'm sorry if that took a lot of your time away from you, though. No worries about that. Another thing, Robert told me not to contact him at all while he's back with you guys. Oh, why could that have been? He said something about not wanting his phone ringing all the time while he's at the hospital. And about how while he's back at your guys' place, he wants to feel like a child again with no stress. Those things. I see. All right then. I'm so sorry for what my little brat has done to you. No, you don't have to apologize. The fact that I have both you and Dad helping me out with all of this has really made me feel strong and confident inside. I'm not sure if that kid is really going to be making his way back here or not soon, but my husband and I are going to do exactly as we told you and head out to that resort for the weekend. I'll leave all of that to you. Now, be careful out there, please. Thank you. And you take care as well. Try not to overdo yourself. Sure. Thank you for saying that. Rory, things are going as we assumed they would. Robert just got here and checked into the hotel with a very young woman at his side. Roger that, Mom. So once they've begun eating dinner and a couple of hours have passed since then, we can start our plan of attack, right? Correct. Please do your best. By the way, Rory, that woman he's with, she's the daughter of someone I know. Wait, are you serious? Because of that, there's no reason for us to change our plan of attack now. That girl has done all kinds of stuff with men and has made a reputation for herself here in town. So that's the kind of person she is. I just never thought that my own son would be taken away by someone like her. Mom, I'm sorry about that. I didn't need to mention that right now. I'll make sure to tell you all about that woman in a little bit, all right? Understood. Please and thank you. Robert, I'm in trouble.
What? Mom? Did something really bad happen or something? I never thought I'd hear that you're in trouble from you.
The car at your house got ran into.
Huh? Are you talking about my car?
That's right.
Wait, hold on a second. I never heard anything about my car getting run into or anything like that. If something like that had really happened, I would have heard about the news of it before anyone else, including you, right? And I haven't heard a word from Rory about it either.
Right now, who all heard first about your car doesn't matter. Just know that your car was ruined when it was hit, and this is an emergency.
I get that this is a huge problem.
Where are you at right now?
What? I'm at a resort with one of my friends right now.
Well, then tell them that something's come up and that you need to head home right now.
What?
Are you more worried about your friend and that resort or about your family and your car, which was just ruined?
I get it already. Yo, Rory, I'm on the bus right now heading back to the house. Did my car really end up getting destroyed after being hit? Well, I never heard anything from you about that before. Does that mean you weren't even aware of that happening yet or something? Hey, are you going to pick up your phone and reply to me yet? Yo, what the hell is all of this about? Was I really just lied to about my car being hit and destroyed? Who the hell was the one that made up all that crap about my car?
Well, hello, Robert. Are you back at the house now?
Hey, Rory! Where the hell are you at right now? You should be finished with work by now, right?
I'm finished.
Well then, where the hell have you been this whole time?
The next town over, back at my parents' house.
What the hell is going on over there? I heard about how my car was hit and ruined by my mom, which has turned out to be some massive bullcrap.
Oh? I had told your mom that everything would be up to her in terms of that. But I guess telling you that your car was ruined would be the best way of getting you to come home as soon as possible.
Huh? I'm not really sure what's going on here, but you knew about the lie? And you were able to get my mom to lie to me about it all? In other words, both you and my mom were in on all of this? Why would the both of you do this to me?
Were you too busy smooching with that girlfriend of yours at the resort for all of this?
Huh?
I knew you would be, so I made sure that your mom made up a really good lie that would get you to run home without even thinking first, and taking you away from her.
What are you going on about? I don't have any girlfriend right now.
Listen, Robert, sorry to say, but I know all about you and her.
What?
That girl you've been cheating on me with happens to have lived in the same neighborhood as your parents do, but has now been living close to you and I ever since she moved out here after high school. And she so happens to be only 19 years old and working at that favorite bar of yours here in town, right? Did you get so excited about seeing a girl close to 10 years younger than you from the past and taking things one step too far because of it? I'm sorry, but it is frickin' disgusting that a man who is almost 30 now has been having sex with a girl who is just over half his age now.
What? How did you find out about this?
Both your mom and your dad went to a resort close by to their town, thinking that would be just the place you'd be heading to with her. They were both the ones that saw everything play out, by the way.
What?
They saw you checking into the place with her, standing right beside you that whole time.
They were able to find out where I'd be staying with her? How did they manage that?
Listen to this, Robert. I had a look at the computer the other night, and on Google there was still a tab open to that resort, and it was saying thank you for booking 2 nights there this weekend.
What? You used that website as well, then?
Did you not just hear me say that I logged into the computer and that tab was still open? I was actually getting on to book a place for my mom and I to go for myself this weekend. And that's when I ran into what you'd left for me to see.
Damn it!
After having a look at more of the search history thereafter, I found this wasn't the first time you'd done this either. There was at least 3 times you'd gone and booked a room for 2 on that website. But I never went anywhere with you before. That was the moment I realized that you were most likely cheating on me and that I needed to talk with your parents about it.
And so, that's how the 2 of them found where I'd be staying.
That's right, Robert. Next time you want to keep something completely hidden from me, do so by exiting out of those tabs after reserving a room. Or better yet, do all of that on your phone, please.
I should have known something was up when it was my mom telling me about my car having been hit and ruined like she did.
You have always had that soft spot in your heart for your mom, to the point that you'll just listen to anything she has to say to you without a doubt in your mind. Well, that really came to bite you in the ass this time, right?
God damn it!
One other thing. I'll leave everything that comes after this for your dad to handle.
My dad?
I heard something before from him about how he'd be calling in some help in order to get you trained into being a decent human being again. I'm sure someone's going to be there for you very soon now. Can you hear them coming yet?
What the hell is up with this all blacked out van?
In other words, what you're saying is that they're here for you?
That's what I'm saying!
I'm pretty sure you're in the middle of a crisis over there, so it's surprising you can still text me right now.
I told them to let me text you so I could ask one last thing, and so they gave me my phone back and let me talk with you. Why would a blacked out van be sent to get me?
Well, that van is the company van for a mining company.
What kind of mining company are you talking about?
One that mines coal. It's the kind of place ne'er-do-wells like yourself end up working at when the rest of the world can't deal with their childish crap anymore. And where they go to learn how to be a proper adult and someone who can be considered a human being again, instead of some stinky pile of trash. I hear that a lot of the people that go to work in those mines come out changed men afterwards.
What the hell? And wait, I'm not some stupid ne'er-do-well.
And that's why you're going to work there now. You don't seem to get who you really are yet.
And wait, what about the company I'm currently working for right now?
Hey, come on now. I know you've been fired by them a long time ago.
What?
After I found out you were cheating on me, I gave your last boss a call and asked about what you'd been doing at work. Turns out that your last boss and I went to the same school together, and he told me all about what actually happened to you some time ago. You'd make out with your coworkers of yours in the company car, and sometimes take them to hotels after work to stay the night. You'd also bring them along with you on your business trips. And then it was found out that you'd spend company money on women, and when asked about all of those things you'd been doing, you said they were all BS. So the company had you fired, right?
Wait, who the hell told you all of those things again? You said it was my last boss who you know?
I am not reminding you who they are. I hear that you already paid the company back for what you used on yourself, but were then asked for some more when the company realized that was only the tip of the iceberg.
Damn it! You've seriously found everything out about me!
If you're really that much of a pile of crap, then you're better off down in those mines being of some use to this world.
I'll go find myself another job instead of this crap.
That's a lot coming from the same man that stopped working after being fired for embezzlement and then used his time and remaining money to go out with a 19-year-old.
But...
As for the divorce and the settlement, you'll hear all about that in a few days from my lawyer.
What?
Start thinking to yourself that you are never going to be seeing me ever again, all right?
Are you freaking kidding me, Rory?
Goodbye forever.
Rory!
According to the neighbors, the scene unfolded like a chaotic comedy. Robert was in a state of panic when he saw a group of muscular men emerge from the sleek black van parked next to our house. The sight of these intimidating figures sent him into a frenzy. He was shouting, "No, please stop!" in a voice that was more pitiful than threatening, as he darted around the yard, desperately trying to escape whatever fate he thought awaited him. It was as if he had lost all sense of dignity. His frantic movements seemed almost comical, flailing about as he attempted to evade them. But in the midst of his chaotic escape, he stumbled over absolutely nothing, a complete misstep, and that was the tipping point. He ended up crashing headfirst into the garden pond, splashing water everywhere. The image of him, completely soaked and disoriented, is one I can't help but chuckle at even now. Despite being drenched from head to toe, the men didn't let him off the hook. They unceremoniously dragged him out of the pond and proceeded to haul him away to the coal mine's dormitory, their intentions no doubt less than pleasant. It was a fitting end to his embarrassing display, though I had to admit I felt a strange sense of satisfaction watching him be taken away, water dripping from him like some sort of a defeated cartoon character. Meanwhile, the female college student involved in this whole mess found herself facing her own consequences. In light of the emotional damages I had demanded from her, she was promptly expelled from her university. It seemed like a swift decision, perhaps to protect the institution's reputation from any further fallout. She quickly found herself a job, likely out of necessity, as the reality of her situation hit her hard. I heard that she also ended up joining the same group that was linked to Robert, which made for a curious twist of fate. When I filed for divorce, I also demanded compensation for emotional distress. The agreed-upon amount would be deducted from both of their salaries at the respective companies where they now worked. It's interesting how life has a way of tying people together, even after a relationship has crumbled into pieces. As for Robert and the young woman, both have now been assigned to different locations within their organizations. They're reportedly undergoing rigorous training under strict supervisors who believe in a tough love approach to education. From what I gather, they're working hard, facing a kind of mentorship that is both challenging and, dare I say, possibly character building. It's ironic that they now have to deal with harsh mentors, considering that their earlier actions stemmed from a lack of responsibility. The transition from a carefree student life to one filled with the pressures of a working environment must be a jarring experience for them. Robert, in particular, used to live a life where he could laugh off his mistakes, and now he is likely learning that the world doesn't operate that way. He might be grappling with the consequences of his actions in a much more profound way than he ever anticipated. I often wonder how they are handling their new lives. It's almost poetic justice. While they were enjoying what they thought was a fun, carefree existence, they now find themselves in positions where they have to work hard to regain some semblance of respectability. Life can change in an instant, and for both of them, it has become a harsh lesson in accountability. As for me, the divorce process and everything surrounding it were undeniably challenging. But I feel a sense of closure knowing that they are now facing the repercussions of their actions. The emotional toll it took on me was significant, but watching them deal with their own consequences offers a form of vindication. I can move on with my life, and they have to face their new reality, one that involves hard work and the guidance of tough mentors. I've also started to find my own path forward. It's liberating to think that I can make decisions without having to consider the whims of someone else. While they're caught up in a world of hard lessons and difficult tasks, I can focus on my own growth and happiness. The burden of their choices no longer weighs on me. Instead, I feel a sense of lightness and freedom. The universe has a way of balancing things out, and for Robert and the college student, the reality of their situation is a stark reminder of how important it is to take responsibility for one's actions. They thought they could have a carefree life, but now they're learning that every choice has consequences. It's hard not to feel a bit smug about the whole situation. I can't help but smile at the irony. Life has a way of catching up with people, and while I was the one left to pick up the pieces after their reckless decisions, they are now the ones who must navigate the difficult waters of adulthood with all its responsibilities. It feels like I've turned a page in my own life, and they're now stuck in a chapter filled with lessons about accountability and the weight of choices.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Yo, Sky.
Daniel, what's going on with you?
I have some news for you. I went and handed in our divorce paperwork to the courthouse, which means that you have 3 days to get out of my house.
What? Wait, what the hell?
I just said I went to the courthouse and handed in our divorce papers.
Wait, hold on a moment. Did you and I get into a fight or something that was worth you going out and getting us divorced like that? And hold on, I don't even remember signing any forms or anything for you and I to get divorced either.
Well, I've already gone and handed those papers in, and they told me they'd process them, so it's too late now.
Are you aware that doing something like that without my permission or my signature is not only going to be thrown out, but can be considered against the law? And if you went and forged my name and such, then you'll be in a whole lot of trouble for it.
Stop getting so worked up over all of the small stuff.
But something like that isn't even small stuff, Daniel.
Is it really worth getting that angry at me for, though? Anyway, I'm giving you 3 days now to get out of the house and on your way.
Wait a sec. I'm going to leave the house right now.
Yo? Why are you in such a rage over this?
Because you never even gave me a reason for why you wanted to get a divorce in the first place. Now, if you tell me why you did it, and depending on what your reason is, I might be a bit more open-minded about what selfish crap you just pulled there. If you're looking for a reason as to why he's leaving you now, I have the answer to that. You do? And who are you again? Huh? I mean, it seems that you and I have once exchanged numbers and everything because I have you in my contacts as Jasmine, but where did you and I meet again? I'm really sorry that I don't remember you or anything, so could you please tell me again? My name is Jasmine. I know that. I'm a longtime friend of Daniel's. Also, I happen to be his longtime crush that he was supposed to get married to before you got in the way of things. Oh, I totally remember you now. Now that you mention that, you were the one that started texting me right before my wedding with him and introduced yourself as that. And later you came up to me acting like a preteen on her period, talking to me like you needed to go back to class soon. What? And after all of that, you went on a rampage about how you were his longtime lover and started to throw some of our food at the staff and all. I remember you now. You were that buffoon. Honestly, what you did that day was so outlandish that you just barely have a spot in my brain that I can remember you from. What the hell is this all about? Well, I see now you're the reason he went and handed in divorce papers. That's right. You are nothing but a stranger to him now. Now that you've heard that from me, you get out of his house and go back to your parents' place or whatever the hell. That condo where you've been living with Daniel at is now going to be ours, and where we will start a family after we get married. Is that so? Hard for me to believe that, though, when you still seem to be going through puberty there. Huh? All right, I'll quit with the jokes now. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to just assume that you being around Daniel is the true reason for him leaving me, so allow for he and I to have another talk about things before I leave, all right? Wait, what the hell is wrong with you? You are such a toxic person.
I was finally able to get rid of her.
Daniel, what the hell was that all about?
I'm so sorry. She was a mistake on my end that I didn't take care of properly.
What happened with you? You were just saying before to me that you handed in our divorce papers and that you wanted me out of the place in 3 days. I thought that perhaps you were going through some serious trouble there, and that's why I kind of waited for you to get back to me like this. I just never thought that things would get as crazy as they have.
Right. I'm sorry for coming at you about all those things without any reason or rhyme, but thank you so much for actually believing what I said a little.
Well, it didn't sound like you truly meant it, but at the same time, I also kind of had to believe you. So what happened to you that was so bad?
Well, those divorce papers that I was writing up yesterday, I was afraid that if I just left them lying around, my mom or someone else might have come across them, and so I decided to take them with me, right?
That's right. You ended up putting them with your work gear before leaving the house this morning, right?
And about that bag I put them in, when I opened it up to grab a towel out of the inside to dry my hands with, I ran into another man walking the opposite direction, and a lot of the things inside it fell out, and it was crazy.
Really?
And the divorce papers also happened to be inside there, and as they fell out, consider it a stroke of bad luck for me, because as I scrambled to grab all my things off the ground, Jasmine was right there and picked those papers up off the ground.
What?
When she saw that both your name and mine were on the papers, she turned to me and said, "You're getting divorced now, huh?" And since the courthouse was right down the road from us, she must have thought that I was heading there with the papers then to hand them in. I told her to hand them back to me, but before I could, she took off sprinting with them and ran inside the courthouse and out of my sight.
With a situation like that, you trying to tell me that all of this had happened and that you needed my help would have taken a lot of time from you.
I really wanted to tell you at the moment it happened, but when I finally caught up to Jasmine to try and explain things to her about what was going on, she was already at the counter handing them in and told me to finish telling the lady that I wanted a divorce.
And you had to go through with it because it would have been just as hard to explain things to her as it would have been to me.
And so, after that all happened, she had been all over me and wouldn't let me leave her sight. She followed me onto the train, into a taxi, and towards the bus station. But I was able to jump onto a bus right as it closed its doors, and I was able to get away from her. And that's why I was just saying that I was able to get away from her.
Hey, is there a chance that you running into Jasmine wasn't a coincidence, but rather she was stalking you the whole time?
What?
Remember that before our wedding, she wouldn't stop following you around asking for an invite, and we were finally able to get rid of her by giving in? Knowing that she was completely fine stooping that low, it might not be that uncommon for her to be a straight-up stalker, right?
She might very well be one.
Then perhaps with the timing of everything else, you running into that man and having the contents inside of it scattered in front of her was a good thing. If you think about the divorce papers as a sort of bait that led your stalker into a perfect trap.
That's a great point. Now that she assumes she'll be getting married to me, she won't expect us to move out of the condo and away from her. I might have to take some drastic measures in order to get her to stay away from me as we move out, but I think I can manage something like saying I have a business trip or something for the next few days.
Well, I'll leave all of that up to you then. Good luck.
Sorry that a lot of this had to get you all worked up and that you had to get stuck talking to Jasmine. By the way, this bus that I hopped on is actually heading over to one of the other condos we were thinking really hard about buying.
All right, that's perfect actually. I understand you getting to work on that. And actually, if it makes you feel any better, I already went ahead and bought it for us, which was meant to be a surprise for you.
Wait, are you serious?
Don't worry, the realtor will meet you there and give you the key and everything to it. I'll start making my way over there as well in the next 30 minutes or so. And don't worry about things like clothing and such, because I packed up as much as I could in the car today, and we'll bring it to you.
No way! Thank you so much for thinking ahead like that.
There are some papers that you might still have to fill out with the realtor, though.
You can leave all of that to me. I've already been gathering a lot of the documents we'd need for buying a condo, so I'll make sure to pull those out if needed.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
I'll see you there soon then, at our new condo. Please drive safe on your way over.
Thanks, Daniel. And good luck to you with any of the remaining paperwork and such. Starting today, I am going to be living in that condo with Daniel, and I've also made sure to fill out all of our marriage papers, so once he's back from his business trip, we can go and hand them into the courthouse. And after that, he and I will be married to one another forever. I wonder if tonight we'll be able to sleep together for the first time, or if if it will be tomorrow night. Oh, Daniel, hurry up and come back home to me. Are you wanting to tell me that to Daniel for you or something? Huh? Oh, I didn't mean to send that last message to you. Oh, Daniel, hurry up and come back home to me. I just wanted to let you know that right now, as I'm texting you, I am on the way to your place with all of my things in tow so that I can move in.
What do you mean by move in?
I get it, all right? You're still on your business trip and everything. But I was able to get the key to the condo from your mother, so don't worry about being home to help me move in. I'll be just fine with the help of her.
I don't ever remember giving my mom that key, though. Does this mean she went out and made another duplicate again without telling me?
Well, this time she did it for my sake, so please forgive your mother for doing such a thing, all right? I'll make sure to start cooking you your very favorite turkey and mashed potatoes while I wait for you to come home, okay? Love you. What's going on here? I was just trying to figure out why this key wasn't working at all for me, and the next thing I know, I'm being told by the man living next door that you moved out of this condo with Sky? Wasn't it only supposed to be your ex moving out of this place? You haven't actually left this place and moved somewhere else, right? I mean, this condo was supposed to become the perfect place for you and I to start living together after getting married and beginning to have kids here, right? This was supposed to become the place where we made love to each other for the first time.
What the hell are you going on about right now? I moved out of there as well, just like my neighbor said. Both Sky and I moved out.
Huh?
And the reason you're not able to use that key my mom gave to you is because the landlord of that building probably already finished up with changing the locks out.
Daniel? What are you talking about right now, Daniel? How could you have moved out of here with your ex-wife you just divorced the other day? Are you doing okay right now?
Well, thinking about this without any context would make it seem like I'm a little bit crazy right now.
Right? If you don't understand how crazy you're sounding right now, then please come back home. And please make sure to get that Sky out of your head so that we don't have to talk about her.
The only reason for the divorce was so that Sky and I could cut ties to my mom.
What?
The reason we had to get a divorce in order to get away from my mom was so that she would get off my case about leaving her. And when we get married to one another again, I want to make sure that I take her name this time and no longer have to be associated with my mom.
You're cutting ties for real then? Wait, why would you do that? How can you cut ties to someone as wonderful as your mom?
You consider a mother who would purposefully feed her son what she thinks he's allergic to in order to put him in the ER a wonderful mom?
What?
I'm sure you heard about how a year ago I ended up in the hospital due to a very serious allergic reaction that almost killed me. That was my mom's doing. She always told me from a young age that the best way to deal with allergies was to take small doses in of what you were allergic to and your body would heal it. But over time, she would do it to punish me as well in much higher doses. And a year ago, I didn't listen to her about leaving Sky like she's been wanting me to, so she went and snuck more allergens into my food and caused me to suffer a very bad reaction. It was so bad that I passed out almost immediately. Thank God Sky had my EpiPen on her and made sure to rush me to the hospital that was only down the road from the condo. Had I been another 10 minutes late, the doctor said they wouldn't have been able to give me enough steroids in time to help me breathe again. After that, I went and confronted my mom in the most intense way that I could about it. But even then, she didn't listen to me and said it was my own fault for never healing myself through microdosing. From that point on, Sky and I were making plans to divorce as a way of getting my mom off my back and cutting ties to her before I remarried Sky again.
Is that right? Then allow me to come and help you with your allergies.
Huh?
I think your mom just sucked at treating your allergies and should have never used that as a way to punish you. She must have really wanted you to marry me next, and that's why she freaked out and gave you too much of whatever it is that you're allergic to. Maybe she wasn't careful enough with the dosing because she was so worked up. But I, on the other hand, am the very careful type and will make sure you don't have another reaction like that again. From now on, as your wife, I will make sure to treat all the allergies you have in a more loving way than your mom. I promise to make you that turkey and mashed potatoes you love so much with only the best ingredients so that you're not having any troubles breathing. All right? Now you don't have to worry about me and can come back home, right? This all worked out perfectly for us.
You're worse than my mom.
What?
The whole point of this was to cut ties to my mom forever, but it seems I'm gonna have to cut ties to you as well now.
No way, Daniel. I'm saying that I'll help you get over your allergies to turkey and potatoes and everything else. So can we get married now?
I have no idea what you're talking about there. You don't just fix allergies like that, you idiot.
What?
I only have so much life left in me after that last battle, so I need to defend it at all costs. Me cutting ties to the both of you will be the best choice I've ever made.
Daniel, no, don't do that.
And don't even start texting my wife about all of this. Well, it's not like you'll be getting in touch with her or anything, since she's already gone and blocked your number.
No, Daniel.
And now it's gonna be my turn to block you. Bye.
Wait a second, Daniel. Daniel! Daniel, I'm finished with work now. How are things going for you? Have you finished work yet?
In another 30 minutes or so, I should be able to meet with you.
Also, it doesn't seem that the desks will be open inside at this time, so we can leave all of our documents in the mailbox for the courthouse to take care of tomorrow.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead and do that then, and there shouldn't be any problems.
All right, I'll be waiting in front of the courthouse for you then.
Sounds great. I'll be heading out of the office right now and on my way.
Right after that, both Jasmine and Daniel's mom started to get into fights over who had the better plan to fix Daniel's allergies, and those fights would go on for day after day. It was so unbelievable to everyone how stupid the two were that all of those in town started to warn others to stay away from them and never let them come around you. When it comes to Daniel's dad, he realized after having to take his son to the hospital so many times due to his wife that it was no use trying to help her stop doing all of those things, and he moved out of their place overnight and is working on divorcing her as well. As for Jasmine herself, Daniel went to her parents and told them both about what she had been doing to him. And without even questioning him any, they both went and grabbed their crazy daughter off the streets and sent her away to go and work for her uncle on the other side of the country. Sounds like their family is full of youth like her who have a lot of problems, and that all of them have been sent to her uncles to get those kinks worked out through punishing labor. And when it comes to Daniel and I, after we had moved away and into our new condo on the other side of the city, we made sure to get back to work, starting off by just working remotely so that we could avoid Jasmine. But after she was sent away to go and work for her uncle and another month or so passed by, we finally went back to the courthouse together and handed in the paperwork to be remarried. We both made sure not to tell any of Daniel's family about this happening besides his dad, and said to him that it needed to stay a secret from everyone else, which he gladly promised would happen. Daniel also went and took my name in the marriage this time and will no longer have to share a name with his mom that brings him nothing but anger and frustration. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.